What is up, y'all? It's Grant with another episode of the Groove Files, and today I always got my main man with me, Donovan.
Yo,
Today we're going to be talking about the one, the only, rest in peace, Mac Miller. And then the first talking point I want to talk about is the kind of the obvious, how people always talk about like unprecedented leaps in music, and one of Mac's biggest thing is like he outgrew that frat boy, quote unquote, white boy rap curse, I guess, and going from Blue Slide to Macadelic, and then even then I don't think Blue Slide was that bad. I think it was okay. Um, what are some? How does that? How many leaps in hip hop are better than that? A lot, right? Or not many, or in the middle.
I really don't think it's that many. It was Mac really just had like we said, unprecedented. I think it was really you could really tell he was like a student of the game, and like honestly, it's one, we don't really get that a lot with the newer generation, and two, you typically do not get that out of white artists. But you could tell like Mac really lived the rap life. Like that's what he wanted to do. And even when I know we talk about artists switching genres and being too good for rap when they switch, even when Mac experimented with other things or did other stuff, he was never too good for it. Like the love was still always there. And that's something I'd like respect him a lot for. I never really felt like he was using rap as a platform for something better. Like he really loved rap as an art form.
I think like Matt Leap is kind of like one thing. Like, of course, I do think there's a couple of leaps. I do think like there's a few leaps better. But Matt Leap is like from Blue Side to Macadelic is one thing, but I still take to this day. I still feel like that sweet spot for Matt was 2013 to 2015. I'm still on the Good AM is his best album train. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I feel like Faces is like the pinnacle for him. He always talks about how like he was very not well during that stretch, but I do feel like we got some of his best music during that stretch, and I feel like Mac's whole legacy is. And I said somebody used this term on Twitter like a while ago, and it's kind of like stuck with me for him. "Quote unquote," Mac Miller is hip hop's little brother, which meaning he not really pretty much he was kind of he was pretty much respected by all of his peers. Like no one really had anything bad to say about this dude.
Besides
like,
Gold Link.
What'd you say?
Besides Gold Link.
And Anderson Paak came out of the woodwork and got him straight. You know how fucking bad you fucked up to have him of all people try to set you straight. Like he don't. That's one happy ass nigga. So you know you fucked up. But like he got songs with Migos, you got songs with Jay Electronica,
You got a song with Chief Keef?
Chief Keef. All pretty much like pretty much everybody from the blog area he had a song with. And that shit crazy to me. Like, yeah, he's done a song about pretty much almost every blog era we know, blog era rapper we know. It'd be a better question. Better question would be, who has he not done a song with? But I feel like, and then also I feel like Mac Miller is like the power of why songwriting is so important. And like, no matter what, I feel like your pen game should come first. because like, and I'll say this, like, this is what I don't like about people in quotables in a sense. Like a quotable should be something is I feel like a quotable is much more something that you just remember. It don't matter how long it is or how short it is. Like if it's something you remember, like about that artist, like very, very well, and you feel like that says a lot about them. I feel like that's quotable. Like, and I feel like one of my favorite, well, I feel like my like a bittersweet Mac song or like Mac verse is like um the very end of Perfect Circle, Godspeed, um, the Star Room, Rain with Vince, um, Polo Jeans, with Earl.
Diablo.
He got so many like hall. I will say he has so many Hall of Fame level verses to me. Like I remember discovering Faces for the very first time, and I didn't discover Faces like in 2014 when it came out. I discovered it like in 2016 when I had just got done my first year of college, first full year of college, and I played this shit all summer. I played all this shit. I played this shit when I got out of school, and I played that shit when I got back to school. And that's when I really started to love Max music. So I really, he was one of those. He really one of those rappers that like when he first, when he died, I was afraid to listen to him. But I literally did not listen to his music for like 3 months because
Oh,
he meant that.
I didn't listen to Mac for a
Because
long
he meant
time
because
when
he
he
meant
died.
because he meant that much to me. Like it's a certain. I say this like it's some artists that now that are currently living that I'm gonna feel that way when they pass away. Um, like that level of attachment and how much you love their music. Like, and a lot of rappers, I don't even view as like rappers. I feel like I view them simply as human beings that sharing their experience with us. And it's important to think that because at the end of the day, everybody human, like, and they give us so much. Like, it's crazy because like I take so much. Me personally, I take so much knowledge from rap. I really do. Like nowadays, like I say, the music I listen to and my own experience are really the only the two big things that I have really got me. And I feel like Matt was one of those people for me. That's why I really enjoy it. That's how like just like so many other Wild era was for me. Like especially going out of graduating high school where like you don't really know where you're gonna go or what you're gonna do. Like yeah, you're going to college, but do you want to go through college? Do you think you're gonna make it? Do you know like just that uncertainty? Like I feel like rap is just hip hop has just helped me so much with that. And I feel like Matt was one of those people for me. Um, if I had to do the top 5 Mac tapes, I'd have to do or albums. I had to do Faces at 1, Good AM at 2, watching movies with the sound off at 3, Macadelic at 4, and Swimming at 5.
For me, I think I would have to say watching movies with the sound off. First, I remember like that really being my introduction to Mac Miller, and I was absolutely blown away with everything that was on it. Um, so that's always going to hold a special place in my heart. Um,
1 second, Donovan. Of course, somebody car gonna go off while I'm recording, but
I'm good.
But yeah, watching movies with the sound off. Wait, did you finish your ranking?
No, I didn't.
All right, keep going.
All right, so I'll say watching movies with the sound off is my first, just because of the, like I said, the special place it holds in my heart. Good AM. Well, I'll say Faces and then Good AM. And then I would say Live from Space and The Divine Feminine. I've been listening to more live albums recently, and this is just a very good live album. And In the Morning with him, Thundercat, and Sid is honestly one of the best songs one of the best songs I've ever listened to. Swimming in Circles, I feel like they would be higher, but it's just like the fact that
he died.
Like
so tied to his death.
It's so hard for me to really like listen to them and enjoy them to the fullest extent. So, they are not on my personal rankings, but it's not for lack of quality by any means.
Swimming, for me, like swimming is, I can put swimming there because I think he put that out when he was living. But like Circles, I don't really like. I'm not gonna say I don't care that he put it out. I just kind of like don't really feel that attachment. I don't want to feel that attachment to it because like it was sounding something that came out after like he died, and I don't really like feel comfortable with it. So I just leave. I just respect Circles, but I don't really have them on my ranking list like that. With what's it called? If we had to, I hate to say this, but like if I'm thinking of like best songs that describe Mac's whole career, or like a Mona Lisa song, I'd have to say Diablo off Faces. Unfortunately, I don't feel good. I don't, in good conscience, I can't put the song, but because it's so eerie. But Perfect Circle, Godspeed. I want to say, also say the Star Room, Jet Fuel off of Swimming. Yeah, and then you have like Matt has like he has a very strong legacy, even though he passed away earlier than we expected, and still rest in peace. Um, like you have kids is considered a quintessential blog era tape. And even though I don't think it's his best, like at all, like I feel like with a lot of the blog era, people tend to put those earlier tapes higher in quality because it's just such a memorable time. Even though I don't think it's they're necessarily their best, but Kids is a quintessential blog era tape. Um, Best day ever, and all this other stuff. So yeah. Did you hear me, Donovan?
My
Yo,
fault.
Donovan,
I heard you. My fault. I forgot that I had put you on mute because somebody came in. But yeah, for me, like my first introduction to Mac was watching movies with the sound off. I never really got into early Mac. I don't think I would have the same like appeal of him if I had listened to that stuff like first, or at least like tried to get into it that early. But like I really think it was just like it was a perfect introduction to that. Like he came in and he wanted to. It's almost seemed like he wanted to change a narrative about himself or like the way that he was perceived, and I mean he certainly did his job. For me, my quintessential Mac songs would have to be Somebody Do Something.
SDS was definitely the video for SDS was like extremely good, and that's definitely like easily one of the most memorable Mac songs. Like I remember waking up for school and that shit was on playing on MTV every fucking time, and that's how I got to love it. Like that's how like every word of that song is like engraved into my brain.
Yeah, that song was incredible. So that I would say Diablo, of course, is really good. Polo Jeans, absolutely. Him and that was when Earl was first starting to come back too. So that was just
That's when after he like came back from the boarding school and shit.
Yeah, that was one of his first features since he had come back. So that was just insane for me.
That whole boarding school thing was like fucking crazy. Cause it was like I thought this nigga Earl had did something fucking insane as a kid, but this nigga mama sent him off to boarding school.
Yeah, it was a really wild time in like everybody's life. And then, like I said earlier, In the Morning with him, Thundercat and Sid, and yeah, Perfect Circle Speed was really good, despite the connotations of it, at least now.
Yeah.
It certainly is hard to listen to at this time, but I cannot deny how great of a song it was, or is, excuse me.
For those who we also need to talk about the producers out of Matt Miller, of course. What is the best? What do you feel like the best thing he's produced is? I want to say, oh my god, it's honestly extremely hard. Um, let's see. Let me go through the catalog. But
That's
you
what
can
I'm.
drop.
That's what I'm doing right now. He produced Perfect Circle and Godspeed.
I don't think that's his best beat though. I feel like it's his best song or one of them.
Um, that dude, he produced Back Selling Crack. Um, this man produced Warm Winds by SZA. I didn't know this. Okay, hold on. He produced Thumbelina. I remember really liking that beat.
Oh yeah, I love that beat too. I feel like it's my favorite off of beat.
Um, yeah, I think those I would have to say are my favorite Mac Miller produced songs. But like looking at his page, I did not know. I knew, of course, he produced some things. I remember the songs with him and Mellow Hype. Uh, but this is crazy.
I'm really trying to think, bro. Like he got too many great beats where I can't really pull it down, bro. I really can't. But I think that's you got any final thoughts, Don?
I do not. Nah.
So that's it for the Matt Miller episode. Um best and worst
Oh,
bars.
I do have one more thing to say.
Oh, you go ahead.
That's the best white rapper ever. Fuck Eminem. Eminem, bottom 5 worst rapper ever. Don't put him in no discussions near me. Yeah, that's all I need to say.
But that is it for this episode. Um Worst and best and worst bars episode coming up. We gotta gather all the information for that. Um little there has to be a big legacy episode coming soon. Like a big one. I haven't decided who is going to be on, but y'all voted for Mac Miller, so this is why we did this episode today. But
Shout out to y'all for voting for Mac.
yeah, because honestly, I was honestly wanting to do a Tribe Called Quest today, but enough people voted for Mac, so I was like, okay, we'll do Mac. But other than that, be easy. We out.